We'll keep an eye on that. And Admiral, before we let you go, I want to get your take on this. Secretary of State Blinken, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will travel to Mexico City today to meet with Mexican President Andres Obrador. They're expected to discuss new agreements concerning the surge of migrants seeking entry into the United States. The visit comes as up to 6,000 Central American migrants currently are making their way to the U.S.-Mexico border. As we've said, the visit also is key to President Biden's political agenda as Republicans are seeking action on border policy in return for their support on foreign military aid. So everything we've been talking about this morning tied together here. So, Admiral, what's your view of this meeting? What possibly diplomatically can be done here in a conversation between Secretary Blinken, Secretary Mayorkas, and President Obrador of Mexico to stem the tide of migrants arriving at the border?
Before I was the NATO commander, Willie, as I think you know, I spent 3 years as commander U.S. Southern Command, all military to military engagements south of the United States. So I know this territory a bit. In the end, all roads to border security lead through Mexico City. We tend to think to ourselves that we've got this 1,800-mile border from the Pacific Ocean to the Caribbean along the Rio Grande River, as though on the other side of it is a parking lot, and we should just figure it out on our side of the border. There's no silver bullet here. So if you take this migrant challenge, it's really three things. It's the source, where there's extreme poverty and gangs, and the source, by the way, is not just Central America. It stretches to Venezuela. Many of the migrants crossing the border are from China, from sub-Saharan Africa. So it's a global sourcing challenge, and there we need to work with our allies bit by bit, trying to help make conditions better in those places. Then it's the transit zone. Here's where we get into Mexico. Mexico could help enormously, and they did, and they have at times kept migrants on their side of the border, but allowed us to come and do processing for asylum requests before these people set foot in the United States. And then finally, to the political season in Washington, it's here at home. It's the demand signal that we send, if you will, from our labor force that is drawing these people here. We need to measure and regulate that. And yes, we've got to also physically control the southern border. So it's a big basket of challenges. Mexico can be an enormous part in all three of those zones.
Fascinating. Former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, retired four-star Navy Admiral James Stavridis, with such incredible range covering these topics. I'm tempted to ask you about the NFL playoff picture, too, but we'll give you a rest and talk to you later in the week, Admiral. Thanks so much. We always appreciate you.